Brave. Tonight we're going to talk about boundaries that protect, not divide. I'm going to let my wife talk to you a little bit about that right about now.
At times, boundaries can be very awkward to have with family and friends when it comes to a blended family. I'm going to give a personal example. When you and I started dating, and I needed to establish the boundaries with my ex because I knew Troy and I were going to be serious in our relationship, and I wanted to establish those boundaries and let him know that this is the man that's going to be in the children's life. This is here he is. His name is Troy, and just wanted to make sure that he knew exactly who was going to be around the children. It was kind of awkward. It also was necessary because I wanted everybody to be on the same page in what direction we were going in the relationship. With boundaries with your ex, it establishes the respect level. Knowing that your new friend, partner, wife, or significant other, and respect and letting them know you're taking a stand. So, again, funny story. If you don't set those boundaries, because there was a time that boundaries weren't set for me, as far as before Troy and I got together, it allowed my ex to come around when he want to, pop up, and we didn't have a relationship. We weren't seeing each other, but it was an awkward situation. So that's why I wanted to make sure that with Troy that I set those boundaries with him and that he knew, because at times it's definitely awkward when you break up and then they see you with someone else. It can be very awkward in that situation.
When you say they, you talking about your ex or the kids?
It was both.
That's what I'm just
It was
making sure
both.
I'm just,
It was both
yeah.
because it was awkward. Even with the children, with boundaries, as far as with I wanted to set specific boundaries with them, with you, because I didn't want them to, like I think I mentioned before, I didn't want them to think that you were coming on scene and you were going to take their dad's place. And there was boundaries because when they met you, I introduced you. They weren't too, well, one in particular wasn't too happy about your presence being there, but setting those boundaries also with children, so knowing that, okay, you're not going to disrespect this person, because boundaries not just for the adults, it's also for the children.
Correct.
In that respect level, and that's where a lot of confusion can happen in a household, in a marriage.
Yep.
Is because the children don't know their roles anymore. You have a new person, they don't know their roles anymore, so it keeps the line of communication going. Because
What I was saying was, told me his dad bought him the game. So I said, that's great, but your dad don't pay the electricity bill.
right,
Yeah, your dad is up
right,
in New Jersey.
right,
And that I had a problem with that, but it worked out,
okay,
little rough roads, but it worked out.
yeah, because I don't think you ever told me that.
Some things you don't need to know.
Okay.
We done had a lot of things with all three of the kids, or should I,
Mm.
different situations that you don't need to know.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I,
And you handled it.
that's what I was ready to say. I figure
Okay.
I handled it. Sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tell you everything.
Yeah, yeah. And then I guess that comes, the parenting where I don't have to what they call helicopter every situation.
Correct.
In that, that you are able to make that decision.
Because if I call everything, that means I'm asking you for help. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. See, I wouldn't know because I can say as a child who had I want to call him a stepfather, and I don't like the word step,
Correct.
but when their presence was only there for my mom, not for me. So he let it be known that he is just there for my mom. And when I made a statement like that, you're not my parent. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
What you mean by that?
He hit me,
Wrong.
and and that's why with that question, it's brought me back to my childhood where, you know, it was okay for this individual to treat me as if I was a step, because that's how I was introduced
That's not right. That's not
as
right,
a step
That's not
daughter.
Right.
You know,
when somebody say I do,
true,
that comes with all the baggage,
true,
good and bad.
true. And I don't think any child wants to be pushed aside or made felt as if, you know, they didn't matter. So
But it happens.
it does.
But it's wrong.
It does.
Some people don't have intention of doing it. Things just happen for a reason sometimes.
And I think when I can say for me, I can't speak for our son when he or child said that, you're not my parent. Dad, I think that's a child's way of, like a jab. It's not where.
I never said it was right or wrong.
No. I'm just saying that, for me, I said that to my stepdad to.
Let me give you another example.
Jab at him like, you're not my father.
Right. But I'm great. Let me give you another example. One of them called me dad all the time. One day we riding together, and his dad called him.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad asked him, who you riding with? He said, Dad. And I heard his dad say, that's not your freaking dad.
Mm.
That was kind of an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Not for me,
right,
but for him.
Yeah.
Because I looked at him, and, he didn't know which way to go with that.
Right.
I talked to him after the fact, say, I get it.
Yeah.
So I've been in your dad's shoes.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to watch another man or woman try to take somebody's place. Which I'm going to try to take his place.
Well, yeah, assist in raising, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's really awkward with being in blended families.
It's hard.
It is.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
And you got to work on it every day.
It's every day. So, boundaries don't push people away.
They make space for peace, and peace is priceless.
It is.
Very.
It is. So if you feel stretched thin or overwhelmed, boundary might be the missing piece that you're having.
So please look us up
On YouTube at Generation CLD, on our TikTok page, Generation CLD, Facebook, and our website at www.generationcld.org. Thank you for this episode with Boundaries, with Blended
and Brave.
Have a good night.
Thank you.